Hello everyone, this is Rodolfo here to make a video on 6 books that I want to read in 2020. A lot of this year has gone by, and a lot of difficult challenges have confronted us as a whole, as a species, as a people, and I just wanted to make a small little video, and I wanted to just express my thoughts here with the YouTube community about what I've been doing personally in my day-to-day habits as someone who wants to be clear from the coronavirus, wants to be as healthy as possible, wants to survive the whole thing. One of the ways that I've been able to do that is by reading, and I haven't been reading enough, honestly, recently, and I wanted to change that by making a dedication, or making like a sort of responsibility video, for lack of a better words. And I wanted to make just my top 6 list of non-fiction books that I find to be very interesting, at least from the summary in the back, and that I want to definitely read in 2020. So here goes. Number 6 is Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. This is a book that I started to read last year, but that I haven't been able to finish for a lot of reasons. Mostly the coronavirus, mostly just my ups and downs when it comes to mood, and it's just a book that I've found so far to be very fascinating, very telling of a man that I had no clue about. And I mean, the book delves into a lot of personal accounts of Steve Jobs, and it's just very fascinating. As you can tell, I'm like almost halfway through it, but it's become impossible with these recent current events, and I just wanted to put it on this list because I find it just very interesting so far, and I just definitely want to be able to finish it this year sometime soon. It sounds like it's going to be a real winner. It sounds like it's going to be something that I might cherish when I'm done with it. And so, Steve Jobs, if any of you guys have this available, which I'm pretty sure it is, I'm pretty sure it's widely available currently. So, number 5 is a book by Nana Mouskouri. A lot of you probably have not heard of her. She is one of my personal favorite artists, singers, I should say. She is Greek. Of course, she's European, but I mean, she was born in the 30s, I believe, 1930s, if not 1920s, and she just tells her account of how she went through World War II as a young girl, and I'm up to that point, and I want to read the back, but I don't want to, the summary in the back, but I don't want to ruin it for myself, and so, just, if you haven't, check out some of her songs. They are absolutely, like awesome, and I recommend her for a number of reasons. She's a cool idol. She's a cool, musician, singer, and she does a lot of cool things. She's very talented, and so if you haven't heard of her, go ahead and check her out. Her memoir is available for like $3 or something on either eBay or Amazon or whatever. Number, 654, Richard Branson's Losing My Virginity. I got this book as a collection from someone that was selling online on Facebook Marketplace, and I didn't really notice that this was kind of like, it says, how I survived, had fun, and made a fortune doing business my way. And I didn't really know what he meant by losing my virginity, which was, the back of the book says it's related to just his noobness in doing a lot of things. He ends up being a billionaire, and he ends up just being very like the owner of a lot of different I don't really know much about him actually, but I just read through the summary in the back, and I just know that he's a very important person, and the reason why he's on this list is because I want to read it and I want to learn more about it. And so on to number, what is this? We're 3, Made to Stick. As you can see, I've already tried to read this book before, and this is a book about like ideas that like stick. Like, I guess they should be called narratives that they tend to stick around in society or in our culture for X reason. And all the reasons are like pretty much detailed by these 2 brothers, Chip and Dan Heath, and it's very fascinating. I got this book because, I mean, it just sounded very, very interesting, and I mean, you can't go wrong with that type of analysis when it comes to just any random topic. And so I think it says why some ideas survive and others die, and with that type of like preface, you can't go wrong. So I got it for like $3 or something. It was part of a discount that I got on eBay, where if you buy like a certain number of books from, what was it, Thrift Books, then you get a discount on the last one. So number 2 is Autobiography of a Yogi. I've heard a lot about this yogi in particular. He's very spiritual. He's very, very, like, he sounds like a really great person just from like the opening that I read and all the quotes that reference the book. You know, people that had finished reading the book and were giving their opinion on it. This guy sounds like he's like a messiah, pretty much. And so I'm really interested in reading this autobiography. And fortunately, he passed away in the 50s, I believe. But his legacy lives on. And so that's why I want to find out more about what this yogi, what this practitioner of yoga and spiritual person and obvious individual from India has to say about his experiences as an individual. Number 1, I know a lot of you people will find this to be very, very controversial, but I mean, I personally, what other book than this one is there to read in times of suffering, in times of calamities, and in times of pandemics? I think that I consider it nonfiction. There's a lot of aspects of it that you could argue are metaphors or are parables. I mean, there are parables that are obviously parables, but there are aspects of the Bible that are just not obviously metaphors or morals for things in life. And so I hesitated somewhat with putting this as number 1, as putting this as a nonfiction book, especially as a number 1 I want to read during 2020. But I mean, it's been there through thick and thin, and I think with some YouTube videos actually that I started seeing earlier in the day, and some ways to like study the Bible. You're not supposed to study it by yourself. I think that this year is going to be a year for the Holy Bible, and I really want that to be a thing for me from now on, and I really want to read it from ear to ear, from opening to beginning, and I want to get a lot out of it. And so I not recommend. Why do I keep saying that? I want to read the Holy Bible. That's my number 1 book that I want to read for 2020, and thank you. That concludes my top 6, my 6 top books, there we go, that I want to read in 2020 that are nonfiction and that I find very interesting in order to make this whole pandemic easier on myself. And so if you have any suggestions of what I should read, or if you recommend that I read read through one of the mentioned books that I have faster, or like that I read through one that I stick to one more than another one, or that I should focus on one more than another one, please feel free to type in the comment section what your opinions are. And with that, I'll just end the video right here. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to get the notifications for the newest video. And have a great day. Thank you for listening.